So I saw this video and it scared me. It scared me. Rappers are being scammed. This thing is so deep. Rappers who buy jewelry, they're being scammed by their jewelers. Their jewelers are selling them fake jewelry.
Just 3 days after Durkheel's warning to upcoming rappers, one of the most infamous examples of a rapper being finessed by jewelers came to light. When Lil Baby showed off the 400,000 Patek Philippe watch that he'd worn as a part of his Met Gala fit on Instagram, fans and fake watch busters alike were quick to tell him that it wasn't the real deal. Within hours, Lil Baby placed Raffaello & Co., the outlet that sold him the timepiece, on blast. Now, at Raffaello & Co., y'all know better than to sell me, of all people, a fake or anything that could be called a fake, he wrote on Instagram. I stand on my name the same way y'all should. Ain't no such thing as a mistake when that money get involved. Suddenly faced with bad publicity, the owners issued a statement which claimed that, I personally would never knowingly sell him or anyone else anything that is not 100% authentic. I have known Lil Baby for a while and there's nothing fake about him, especially his jewelry and watches. I want to personally apologize to Lil Baby for what has transpired. Raffaello & Co. took immediate action to rectify this. We pride ourselves in being an honest business and will take great care to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. But despite their assurances that this was a one-time oversight, Vlad TV suggested that this wasn't an isolated incident and detailed his own run-ins with R&Co.
I actually had a bad experience with the same company. I had actually traded in a rose gold Hublot King Power watch. Beautiful. You know, we did a deal where I gave him that watch and he gave me a Rolex Presidential in yellow gold. When I went to go get it appraised and looked at, you know, for my insurance and so forth, we come to find out that one of the links on the back of it was rose gold instead of yellow gold. And then we come to find out that the actual, you know, glass on the watch wasn't even Rolex glass. So I had to spend a few $1,000s to get this watch back into its original shape. How many of these watches have these guys sold to people that didn't catch it, like me or Lil Baby? Lil Baby wouldn't have caught it if he didn't Instagram it. Right. If he never Instagrammed it, he'd be sitting there with his $40 watch thinking it's worth $500,000.
That's crazy. Do you know why it's even more scary and even more, I'm scared for them, because let's already talk about the fact that you got a record deal, right? You got an advance. Let's say you got $1 million advance. They think they got $1 million, that's my money to spend. No. They get $1 million, but that's the budget for their whole album, their next maybe 3 albums, right? You get $1 million. The label probably gives you $500K up front. You still have to pay your manager and your label. You have to pay your manager. You have to pay your agent. You have to pay whoever, you know, all your people, your lawyer and your manager. You pay them. You take home maybe $400K, right? Let's say, so you take home $400K. No, you take home less. You take home like $370 or something. I don't know, like maybe $370. Let's say $370, right? Then you go and spend $100,000 on a chain and another $100,000 on a car. You're broke. You're broke. And that chain is now like fake. Oh man. It doesn't add up. For you to buy a $100,000 chain, you have to be worth, I don't know, you have to talk to an accountant. Speak to an accountant, they'll tell you how much you have to be worth for it to make sense for you to make any purchase.
If you talk with any actual like accountant or person that like is an expert in finances, they're going to tell you, okay, how much money you really have to buy a $100,000 Cuban to like really be able to like actually afford it in a knowledgeable and smart way. They're going to be like, you need to have like 30 million. We don't have a 401k. We don't have no retirement plan.
People are out here without financial literacy. They're purchasing dumb stuff and then they go broke in a year. Listen to the people, the vets like Chameleonaire, who became, he's worth, he's worth like a lot of money now because he invested his money in tech. Listen to the people that, you know, have ownership. And then also, like, let's talk about the fact that you gave away, like, you did a slave deal. So you gave away your masters, which is like the ownership of your music. So that means like you're not going to get the royalties. Like royalties diminish, right? Maybe you'll get some royalties, but you don't have ownership. It's a mess. So you're already broke. That's my point. Maybe in another video, I'll break down the whole royalty situation, masters and all that stuff. It's all quite scary, but you get broke. All this stuff happens to you. Then you go and buy jewelry and you're scammed.
Known as Raheem the Jeweler, he's since made a side hustle for himself, exposing the ins and outs of how much money he makes off fake jewelry, and in one case, which rapper is purchasing it from him.
I've had a couple customers that I really don't want to name for because it's gonna, you know, it can mess with my bread.
So you telling me that this knockoff right here is $1 million business?
Yeah, a little bit more than that. I mean, I will say this. It's already out in the open. My biggest customer last year was Soldier Boy. He bought the presidential with the black face, with the white face. He got the Yap Master encrusted. I got the bust down.
With dealers such as Raheem serving up fakes that are undetectable to the untrained eye, the idea of copping fake jewelry has even become a topic of debate among OGs.
Why even buy the jewelry? All I have to say, if you're a rapper and you're listening to this, before you buy jewelry, go and buy one of those like jewelry detectors.
The rise of social media, these rappers' purchases are under more scrutiny than ever before.
I'm getting on stone, bro. I'm getting on stone, bro.
Nah, man, come on.
Where'd you get your jewelry from, dog?
Nah, bro, hold on.
And make sure that you check it, and make sure you get it appraised and get insurance on it, and make sure you confirm that it's real before you spend that money from anyone. This is a must, because people are out here getting scammed. And you can't even afford to get scammed. And I don't even want to talk about the jewelers. This is so disgusting that they exploit. It's always black rappers that they do this to. And these jewelers, they're not even black, right? So the system in America is built to keep black people poor. And black people, seriously, we need financial literacy. We need to focus on building wealth and not dumb stuff.
During a Clubhouse discussion that was hosted by Royce da 5'9" and sparked by the news that Chad Ochocinco had purchased fake watches to save money, NY veteran Mano discussed how the identity crisis that artists feel and the nature of the industry could pressurize them into purchasing fake jewelry. While from Crooked Eye's vantage point, the concept of rappers and athletes making the practice of buying cheaper alternatives known might actually promote good spending habits in those who look up to them.
You know what, Royce? As far as that, it's like, why even buy a replica watch and then say it's fake? Like, you better off not buying it at all, right? But I understand the mentality to feel or look like or have to fit in. Like, I want to act like this is a real Audemars. I want to act like this is a real Patek. And you got the money to do it, but you won't do it. I don't get that. Like, you might as well just go straight bare with nothing. You know what I mean? Go get you a Seiko or something like that.
Do y'all think that energy is transferring to the youth though? Like, if somebody say, yo, I can afford this, you know what I'm saying, but I'll be wearing fake, I'm wearing replicas, you know what I mean, I'm spending less money. Is there a jewel in there for the youth in any of that energy? Can the youth pull out and say, you know what, maybe a bunch of jewelry ain't what I need to be on right now? Because my favorite football player, he just said he ain't even wearing real jewelry.
Please. Because I saw this video, and I'm going to play the video with Chris Rock, and this comedian said something, and it was so scary.
White people are rich, they're just rich forever and ever. Even their kids are rich. Yeah. But when a black guy gets rich, it's countdown to when he's poor again.
It's so true, guys. We have to do things differently. We have to be better. We can't afford to do this anymore, because if we as black people want the police to stop shooting us, if we as black people want society to treat us better, we have to build our wealth. Not be rich, not like all of that stuff. Build wealth, build institutions that support black people, that support black culture.
Whether it's a byproduct of the dangers of being ripped off or not, it's unsurprising that there's a new crop of rappers who've decided that they should no longer value the flashiness over financial security and shrewder investments. Case in point, the formerly iced out 21 Savage.
One is because everybody wears jewelry. I outgrew it, got getting a little wiser and growing. So another reason is because the richest people that I've ever met in my life, they never had on jewelry. Every time I meet somebody who's very, very rich, like wealthy, I never seen them with jewelry on. And ever since I've been saving money and not spending it on jewelry, I've been getting way richer.
So rappers, anyone that wants to buy jewelry, make sure you get a jewelry detector. Do it right there in front of the jeweler. Be like, and if he says, oh, what are you doing? It's real. Say, yeah, I don't care. I have to verify this. Trust, but verify. Guys, it's so sad. It's disgraceful. And it's so sad that it happens to black people. Like, it's like, it's almost like when people believe, society believes that you're a fool, they try to exploit you to the max. And these rappers who are super young, they're not educated, they don't have financial literacy, and it's not their fault. How many people really have financial literacy at that age, especially if your parents didn't teach it to you, right? A lot of people don't have financial literacy. What are they supposed to do? So guys, that $400K that you get, just get financial literacy. Understand that money is not yours. It's a loan. It's a bank loan, and you're being scammed. When you go and buy this dumb jewelry, don't buy jewelry with it. Go and invest it. Build your career. Build your life. Build your future. But sometimes it really does take losing about that $300,000 for your first time. It takes losing that for you to understand it. But if you're a musician, you got to be careful, because it's one thing if you're a filmmaker and you give away the IP of your film, because that's just one film. You can make another film. But you're giving away, and I would advise you not to do that anyway, but they'll buy your IP. They'll give you money for your IP, and they'll pay you separately to produce something, right? So even in film, it's even a little bit better. But in music, they give you that $1 million, and then they buy all your masters. They buy you out. So they put you in this, it's slavery. It's modern day slavery, but that's another whole other conversation, another video. I'm going to break that down. It is so sad. We have to do better as Black people. We have to do better. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace.